Alright guys, so my dream PC is finally done. It was a long journey per usual, but I definitely think it paid off in the end. I did take extra time to perfect it instead of rushing it out like last time and not be happy with it. This video is going to be pretty chill. We're just going to go over temperatures, overclocking performance, and we're going to play Apex Legends on LG's new sexy ultrawide gaming monitor. So yeah, with that said, let's get into it. Your CD Key is having a summer sale right now with awesome deals on their Windows and Office products. You guys can get a Windows 10 Pro key for less than $15 minus an extra 20% off using the code TS20. Make sure to click the link below if you're interested. So one of the things that I always try and do with my own personal PCs, when it comes to my own PC that I use back at home for gaming or editing, I always try and be different. I don't like using mainstream PC cases that you guys see so many builds in. I like to find something that's unique, something that you guys don't see often or don't see at all. So that's why this case fit the profile. It looks amazing and it's unique. I mean, yeah, I get it. This case is far from perfect. You know, keeping it clean from dust and dirt is going to be a very tedious task. And also draining the system and refilling it is going to be very annoying because I do have to remove all three of the side panels just to access the drain port and the fill port near the top res. There is 6 screws holding just the top glass panel and then 4 on each of the side panels. So yeah, convenience is definitely not its strongest suit. But the biggest issue with this case, and I found out about this after I was done with the build, of course, it has to do with the top glass panel, and I'll talk more about it when we get into thermals. So specs wise, I did overclock my delidded 7980XE 18-core processor to 4.6 gigahertz on all cores, and it's running on 1.2 volts. I also overclocked both graphics cards. We got 70 megahertz offset on the boost clock and 500 megahertz on the memory. Now in terms of temps, the CPU idles between 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, while both GPUs are sitting under 40 degrees. Now here's where things get interesting. On load, the GPU peaks at 70 degrees Celsius, which is unusually hot. The bottom GPU is pretty much useless because the games I play don't support SLI, so it's pretty much doing nothing for now until NVIDIA adds support later down the line. I know that Founders Edition RTX 2080 Ti's run pretty hot even underwater, but 70 degrees is still pretty high. That's only 7 degrees less than air. At first I thought maybe I messed up on the thermal paste application, or maybe I didn't tighten the screws enough and the thermal paste wasn't coming in contact with the GPU block. So I went ahead and took them apart, and sure enough, there was nothing wrong with them. So either way, I went ahead and reapplied thermal paste and slapped them back on. I did make sure this time around to put a radiator between each block. So the flow direction right now I have is the pump goes directly to both the GPUs, from the GPU to the top rad to the CPU block, and the CPU block to the second rad, and then back into the reservoir. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I realized that I overlooked something so simple, something that was right in front of my eye sockets. The top radiator is not getting enough airflow because there is maybe a centimeter of space, if that, probably a lot less, between the top rad and the top glass. And I did have some concerns building in it, but I kind of brushed it off because I thought, you know, I got 2 full-size 360mm radiators. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna really affect temps as much, but well, what do you know? Any cold air that's supposed to go through the radiator and escape through the top is either being trapped up there and being bounced back. And I know this because there is a lot of air being pushed back. If I put my hand over here, I can feel a lot of air. It's almost as if these fans were flipped upside down and now they're being used as exhaust. I mean, that's how much air I'm feeling on this hand. Way more than the air coming out from the sides here. I've also noticed that this radiator is way more warmer than the radiator on the side. So that pretty much proves my point that the top rad is essentially being starved of air. Unfortunately, this leaves me no choice. I have to scratch this entire build and build myself a new one. I'm just joking. Obviously, there's no way I'm replacing this beast, especially after it took all this time and effort to build it. There's only really one option left for me, and that is to cut a new piece of glass with a rectangular cutout where the radiator would be. That way the hot air can escape and cold air can circulate through it. Unfortunately, I can't cut this glass because I was told that If you cut tempered glass, then it's gonna shatter into a million pieces. So I reached out to this local company here in Santa Clarita and I sent over the drawings. So they're gonna reach out to me, let me know if they can do something like this. But if not, it's not a big deal. I mean, the PC runs perfectly fine. It's stable. There's no thermal throttling. It doesn't crash. I'm just gonna have to deal with unusually higher temps than normal. But anyways, with that said, I think it's time to finally start gaming on this beast and see what it can do on LG's new ultrawide gaming monitor. So this thing has a 3440 by 1440p curved IPS display with 120 Hz refresh rate and G-Sync support. It pretty much has the same specs as my ultrawide back at home, but with a higher refresh rate and a faster response time at 5 milliseconds. All right, Apex Legends, let's do this. Settings, we are rocking 3440 by 1440. Everything else is pretty much maxed out, as you can see. Let's do this. Where should we jump down? Let's go over there. First thing I've already noticed, guys, is the temps for the GPU dip down to 66, 67 degrees just by removing the top panel. So we're getting 3 to 4 degrees cooler just by moving the top panel. So my suspicions were correct. Also, I gotta say, this game looks amazing in this resolution. If you guys haven't had a chance to play it in ultrawide on Apex Legends, or any game really, you gotta give it a shot because it looks so sweet. They always say, once you go ultrawide, you don't go back. So 21 by 9 is where it's at, guys. Frame-wise, we're not doing too bad. We're getting anywhere from 70 to 80 FPS. Do keep in mind we're playing on a higher resolution, 3440 by 1440, which is somewhere between 4K and 2K actually. On a side note, if any of you play Apex Legends on a PC, hit me up. I'm looking for some pro players to carry my noob ass to victory. I'll add my username on the screen if you guys want to add me. Don't you hate it when you call your own care package and then your teammate just swoops in and steals all your gear? Thanks, dude. Got one spotted. Appreciate that. Honestly, I think what I'm just gonna end up doing is just keeping the top glass panel off instead of having a brand new one made. I just can't get over how amazing this game looks, honestly. It's amazing. What? I thought that was my friend. Oh my god, dude. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did, and if you didn't, you know what to do. Consider subscribing if you want to see more awesome PC builds like these. I did hear about AMD's new announcement on their Ryzen 5 and 9 CPUs, as well as their, 5700 XT GPU, which I'll be using in a few builds coming up as well. Anyways, thanks again for watching. I love your beautiful faces. Oh yeah, by the way, all the parts used in this build will be linked below, as well as the ultrawide monitor. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.